Psalm 51, and Isaiah chapter 63. They would remember all that teaching from those passages. And then the references to fire must have been very challenging. They'd have remembered the Old Testament teaching about the fire of God, Isaiah 1:25. And I will turn my hand against you and thoroughly purge away your dross and take away all your alloy. Isaiah chapter 4, verses 3 to 6, and it shall come to pass that he who is left in Zion and remains in Jerusalem will be called holy, everyone who is recorded among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord has washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion and purged the blood of Jerusalem from her midst by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. Remember that passage? That's a passage that speaks about the Holy Spirit coming in fire. Daniel 7 verse 10. A fiery stream issued from the Ancient of Days and came forth from before him. 1,000,000 ministers to him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. And the court was seated and the books were open. It's a picture describing judgment. Malachi 3 verses 2 and 3. But who shall endure the day of his coming? And who can stand when he appears? For he is like a refiner's fire and like a launderer's soap. He will sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver. He will purify the sons of Levi and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer to the Lord an offering in righteousness. So all these things, these verses describe the judgment that the Spirit is going to bring when he purges people's lives. Now this suggests something special about the baptism of Jesus, the baptism in spirit and fire. Many people, as soon as they see this reference to fire, think this must be the fire of judgment that's falling at the end time. And they analyze the passage like that. And I suppose they have a point. It is an interesting interpretation. But I prefer to see this baptism in spirit and fire as the same baptism. And for us as believers plunged into the fire of God, we are not consumed. But the sin is consumed, the dross is consumed, the impurity is consumed, because the Holy Spirit works to purify us and to make us holy and to be like Jesus. So this is the suggestion. John says, listen, my baptism that I give you can wash. It can purify you. It can wash you. But Jesus' baptism will save you from the judgment that is to come. John's baptism may wipe the slate clean, but Jesus' baptism in fire transforms the very slate itself. So Jesus isn't going to stop just at some outward cleansing. Jesus is going to change the nature. Jesus is going to bring a new nature.